The southern tip of the Indian Peninsula is defined by its quiet geography, networked by calm backwaters and shaded by dense palm canopies. It presents a stark visual contrast to the arid plains of the north. But while the rest of this vast nation halts for the crack of a cricket bat, this specific southern state moves to a different rhythm. Here, the devotion is directed at a rectangular pitch. Football in Kerala is an inherited language. It is passed down through generations, and any available patch of flat earth, a dried riverbed, a narrow alleyway, or a sliver of concrete, is immediately claimed and converted into a playing surface. The game exists here in its rawest form. Teenagers strike the ball barefoot against unforgiving asphalt, honing their touch without the luxury of pristine grass or proper athletic boots. This is an organic local culture. It grows directly from the dirt and the streets, an inescapable part of daily life for anyone raised in the state. When the torrential monsoons arrive, the matches do not stop. The heavy, relentless rains actually escalate the community's commitment to the sport. Players drag their legs through ankle-deep standing water and thick mud, fighting for balance. The elements demand a heavier, deeply physical style of play. This grit is institutionalized in the local seven circuits. These grueling seven-a-side matches played on compact dirt fields serve as the crucible for the region's talent, drawing massive crowds to watch the neighborhood teams battle. The intensity regularly spills off the pitch and into the local tea shops. Fans of all ages sit for hours, dissecting formations, tactical flaws, and player decisions with the precision of veteran managers. Years of playing in the mud and debating in the cafes forge a highly literate audience. They understand the mechanics of the sport intimately, leaving them perfectly primed to cast their critical, obsessive gaze far beyond their own borders. That gaze eventually locks onto the international stage. The same fans who bleed for their local sevens teams look overseas for avatars that match their level of devotion. This outward devotion manifests physically through what locals call the flex wars. Rival fan groups pool their wages to erect towering, multi-story cutouts and massive flex billboards of global superstars, dominating the skylines of small villages. District loyalties are mapped out by color, sorted into vast zones of Brazilian yellow, Argentine blue, and Portuguese red. But these borders aren't cleanly drawn. Zoom in and you find the colors colliding within a single postal code, creating street-by-street territorial disputes between lifelong neighbors. Wearing a foreign jersey here is a declaration of local dominance. Backing a distant nation is the chosen method for claiming supremacy over the rival fan club down the road. This territorial pride requires a face. The state's collective worship filters up to a select few modern icons, treating them with a reverence usually reserved for local deities. For millions, the Argentine number 10 embodies pure innate ability. His low center of gravity and natural dribbling style perfectly mirror the chaotic, instinctual play of the local streets. Across the road, the Portuguese captain commands absolute loyalty. His narrative of sheer willpower and engineered perfection provides a powerful template for youth looking to grind their way to the top. And then there is the Brazilian connection. Decades of identifying with South American flair find their modern vessel in this yellow jersey, continuing a local tradition of valuing rhythm on the ball. These men will likely never play a match on Kerala soil, yet in these towns, their faces serve as the primary weapons in the ongoing battle for neighborhood pride. When the FIFA World Cup finally arrives, the daily mechanics of the state grind to a halt. Work schedules shift, and regular commerce takes a back seat to the broadcast schedule. The buildup culminates in an explosion of color and sound. Streets flood with painted faces and waving flags, matching the fervor of the region's oldest and most sacred religious festivals. Private viewing is abandoned. Village squares, beaches, and empty lots are physically re-engineered, outfitted with massive projectors and heavy sound systems to accommodate the masses. Thousands of people pack into these temporary arenas. They stand shoulder to shoulder in the humid night air, entirely focused on the glowing rectangle illuminating their faces. The World Cup integrates directly into the local calendar,
dictating the sleep cycles and collective routine of millions. Look closely at these crowds, and the usual societal lines blur. The glow of the screen illuminates a massive cross-section of the population, erasing typical divisions of age, religion, and politics. They ride the same violent emotional currents together. A suffocating, collective silence grips the square before a decisive penalty kick, followed instantly by a concussive eruption of light and sound. The fierce territorial disputes of the build-up finally give way. Once the final whistle blows, the neighborhood rivalries dissolve, leaving behind a profound sense of shared experience. When the screens go dark and the global circus moves on, the local fields remain. In the quiet aftermath, another pair of bare feet steps into the mud to strike a battered ball. In Kerala, football functions as a shared communal language. It is a constant rhythm that persists across generations, linking the rain-soaked streets to the world stage.